What if the deepest discoveries on Earth aren't in space, but buried beneath our feet, hidden under layers of earth, rock, and time? There are places so deep, they were never meant to be seen again, because archaeology doesn't just uncover history. Sometimes, it digs into something far older than we expect. Before we go deeper, stay with the journey and subscribe, because what you're about to uncover may completely change how you see the past. Because this isn't just about ancient ruins. This is about discoveries that challenge what we thought we knew. Let's begin in Turkey, where one of the most shocking discoveries was made, the underground city of Derinkuy. At first, it seemed like a small cave system, but as excavations continued, it kept going deeper, and deeper, and deeper, until it revealed something extraordinary. A massive underground city, descending multiple levels beneath the surface. Now think about that. Entire living spaces carved into rock. Rooms, corridors, ventilation shafts, storage areas, even places for livestock. All hidden underground. All built centuries ago. Now ask yourself, why would people build a city beneath the ground? Because this wasn't temporary. This was intentional, engineered, designed for survival. Some believe it was used as a refuge, a place to hide from invasion, a place to disappear when danger approached. And if that's true, then this city wasn't just built for living. It was built for protection. Now consider something even more fascinating. The deeper you go, the more complex it becomes. Narrow passageways, stone doors that could be rolled into place, controlled access, almost like a system designed to defend itself. Now pause. This is not just architecture. This is strategy, because building underground is not easy. You don't just stack materials. You remove them. You carve into solid rock, without modern machinery, without advanced drilling tools. And yet, they did it. Now think about the effort, the planning, the coordination required to create something like this. Because this wasn't random. This was knowledge. And that leads to the first big question. If people were capable of building entire cities underground, what else have we not discovered yet? Because this is just one example, one location, one discovery, and it already challenges what we thought was possible, which leads to a deeper thought. How many other structures are still buried, hidden beneath layers of earth, waiting to be uncovered? Because in the next part, we go deeper into discoveries found at extreme depths, places where reaching them alone is a challenge. Stay with the story, because the deeper we dig, the more history begins to change. What if some discoveries weren't just hidden underground, but buried so deep that reaching them feels almost impossible? Because the deeper archaeologists dig, the more they encounter something unexpected. Entire structures preserved beneath layers of time. Before we go further, stay with the journey and subscribe, because what you're about to uncover may completely change how you see ancient civilizations. Because now, we are going beyond surface ruins, into places where depth itself becomes a barrier. Let's begin in Turkey again, but this time with another astonishing sight, Göbekli Tepe. At first glance, it doesn't look deep, but what lies beneath is what makes it extraordinary, because what we see today is only a fraction of the site. Archaeologists believe large portions are still buried underground, hidden intentionally, covered thousands of years ago. Now think about that. Massive stone pillars, arranged in circular patterns, carved with intricate symbols, dating back over 11,000 years, long before what we consider advanced civilization. And yet, it exists. Now ask yourself, why would a civilization build something so complex, only to bury it? Because this wasn't natural. This was deliberate. Layer by layer, the structures were covered, preserved, hidden, as if meant to be protected. Now consider the effort. Moving massive stones, carving detailed engravings, then covering it all again. This suggests something important. Purpose, meaning, and planning far beyond what we expected for that time period. Now shift to Egypt, beneath the sands near the Great Pyramid of Giza. While the pyramid itself stands above ground, what lies beneath is still being explored. Hidden chambers, subterranean passages, spaces carved deep below the structure. Some discovered, others still unknown. Now pause. A structure above, and mysteries below. Because ancient builders didn't just build upward. They built downward, into the earth, creating layers of architecture, visible and hidden. Now think about the pattern. Underground cities, buried temples, hidden chambers, because the deeper we look, the more we realize something. Ancient civilizations weren't limited to the surface. They used depth as part of their design, which leads to a powerful question. What lies even deeper? Because if structures exist beneath known sites, what about places we haven't fully explored yet? Because in the next part, we go even further, into discoveries found beneath water, caves, and extreme environments where access itself is a challenge. Stay with the story, because the deeper we go, the less we understand. What if the deepest discoveries aren't just underground, but hidden in places we can barely reach? Underwater, inside caves, buried in environments where survival itself is a challenge. Because the deeper archaeologists go, the more they find something unexpected. History, preserved in extreme conditions. Before we go further, stay with the journey and subscribe, because what you're about to uncover may completely change how you understand where history can exist. Because now, we are going beyond land, into environments that protect secrets. Let's begin beneath the ocean, near Japan, where the mysterious Yonaguni Monument lies deep below the surface. Divers exploring the site found something unusual, not just rock formations, but shapes that resemble steps, platforms, edges that appear almost too precise. Now think about that. A structure underwater, far from land, hidden beneath layers of ocean. Because if this formation was once above sea level, it means the world looked very different. Now move to Mexico, inside one of the most dangerous environments to explore, deep cave systems. Here lies Cenote Sac Acton, one of the longest underwater cave networks in the world. Divers navigating these caves have discovered something incredible. Human remains, artifacts, objects preserved in complete darkness. Now pause. These are not easy places to reach. Narrow passages, pitch-black conditions, limited oxygen, and yet evidence of human presence exists there. Now ask yourself, why would people go this deep? Because caves were not just shelters. They were used for rituals, burials, hidden spaces meant to be protected. Now consider something even more fascinating. Water preserves. Low oxygen slows decay, which means artifacts found in these environments can remain intact for thousands of years, almost untouched. Now think about the pattern. Underwater structures, deep cave discoveries, hidden remains in extreme environments. Because the most difficult places to reach are often the best places to preserve history. Now consider the challenge. Exploring these locations requires advanced equipment, training, precision, because one mistake underwater or in a cave can be fatal, which means many areas remain unexplored, untouched, unknown. Now imagine how much is still hidden, because if we've already found artifacts in such extreme conditions, what else is waiting? Because in the next part, we go deeper into the methods used to reach these places and why some discoveries remain hidden, delayed, or unexplored. Stay with the story, because the deeper we go, the more the past reveals itself. What if the greatest discoveries aren't hidden, but simply out of reach? Because finding something deep beneath the earth or underwater is not just about knowing where to look. It's about being able to get there. Before we go further, stay with the journey and subscribe, because what you're about to uncover may completely change how you see exploration itself. Because now, we are going behind the discoveries, into the methods, the limits, and the challenges. Let's begin with something simple. Digging deeper is not easy. As archaeologists go further underground, conditions change, oxygen decreases, temperature shifts, structures become unstable, and the risk increases. Now think about sites like the Ringkui in Turkey. Exploring deeper levels isn't just about curiosity. It requires careful planning, because narrow tunnels, tight spaces, and limited airflow can quickly become dangerous. Now move underwater. Near Mexico, divers exploring systems like Cenote Sac Acton face an entirely different challenge. Darkness, pressure, limited visibility, and one critical factor, time, because underwater exploration depends on oxygen supply. Every second matters. Every movement counts. Now consider deep ocean exploration. Most discoveries at extreme depths aren't made by humans directly. They are made using machines, submersibles, remote-operated vehicles, sonar mapping, technology that allows us to see without being there. Now pause. That means many discoveries are not fully explored, only partially understood, because seeing something on a screen is not the same as physically reaching it. Now think about cost. Deep exploration is expensive, time-consuming, risky, which means not every discovery gets immediate attention. Some remain unconfirmed, unexplored for years, even decades. Now consider something even more intriguing. Some sites are left untouched intentionally, preserved, protected, because exploring them too aggressively could damage them. Now think about the pattern. Limited access, extreme conditions, incomplete exploration, because the deeper the discovery, the harder it is to fully understand. And that creates a unique kind of mystery. Not just what we found, but what we haven't fully explored yet. Now imagine this. Right now, there could be entire structures, artifacts, even civilizations, hidden just beyond our reach, because we simply don't have the means to access them fully. Which leads to the final question. What happens when technology finally allows us to explore everything? Because in the final part, everything connects, and we uncover what these deepest discoveries truly reveal about human history. Stay with the story, because the deeper we go, the closer we get to rewriting everything. What if the deepest discoveries on Earth are not just hidden, but rewriting history itself? Because when you connect everything, the underground cities, the buried temples, the underwater structures, and the extreme environment, you begin to see a pattern that is impossible to ignore. This isn't random. This isn't coincidence. This is incomplete history. Before we reveal the final truth, stay with the journey and subscribe, because what you're about to realize may completely change how you see human civilization. Because now, everything connects. In Turkey, the underground city of Derinkuy reveals entire living systems hidden beneath the surface. At Göbekli Tepe, also in Turkey, massive structures were intentionally buried thousands of years ago. Near Japan, the Yonaguni Monument lies beneath the ocean, raising questions about ancient environments. Inside the caves of Mexico, systems like Cenote Sac Acton preserve artifacts in complete darkness. Different locations, different conditions, different discoveries, but the same message. There is more beneath the surface than we understand, and that leads to the final realization. Human history is not fully uncovered, because for every discovery we make, there are countless others still hidden, buried under layers of earth, submerged beneath oceans, sealed inside caves, waiting. Now think about the timeline. Thousands of years of human activity, entire civilizations rising and falling, natural events reshaping the planet. And with each change, something is lost, hidden, preserved. Now consider something even more powerful. Depth protects. The deeper something is, the longer it can remain hidden, untouched, unchanged, which means the deepest discoveries may also be the oldest. Now ask yourself, what are the earliest chapters of human history? Are still buried? Because if structures exist deeper than expected, older than assumed, then our timeline may not be complete. And that possibility changes everything. Because history is not just what we know, it's also what we haven't found yet. And right now, most of it is still out of reach. So the next time you think about the past, remember this. You're only seeing the surface. If you want more hidden discoveries, ancient mysteries, and unexplained history, make sure you subscribe and stay with us. Because the deeper you go, the more you realize we've only uncovered a fraction of our own story.